Hey everybody, welcome back. Another Gravity Ace thingy. Gonna do some coding today. I might do a little bit of pixel art, a little bit of Ace Sprite. Let's just see where this goes. Happy Monday, everybody. Hey, Annie. You know what? I gotta figure this out. I think there's some way to make you a VIP. And if anybody deserves it, it's you. You are always here. Let's see. Any key 0. There you go. Any key 0 is a VIP. I'm not sure what that means. If I'm honest. But there you go. Hey Rob. Good to see you back. Let me just go into what I've been working on lately. So I don't know if you guys were here. I can't remember if you guys were here last time. Oh, nice. Yeah, I love it when the kids go, oh, look, you have a little diamond next to your name. Yeah, I remember when I put my kids to bed, it was like, oh, finally, I can do some stuff now. You're like, kid, go to sleep so I can do adult things. It's a relief, right? I remember the day my daughter went from 2 naps a day to 1 nap a day. It was like, ugh, why did you do this to me? Yeah, so I was working on, what do you call it, UI stuff last time. And where was I? I was in here in the options menu, and I was trying to get these sliders working. And I did get them working eventually after the stream. Right? That looks pretty good, I think. Did a little few tweaks on the buttons, made them a little taller so they're the same height as these buttons and the same height as these. Now all my drop downs, buttons, checkboxes, they're all the same height. Perfect. And added this indicator here so you can see when you're on the slider, and those work now perfectly. But what it took was I had to read the release notes for 3.2.2. Apparently, when they came out with 3.2.2, if you look in here, so I'd made this style, I'd made these styles, this theme, before 3.2.2. And so I had like a bunch of different things in here, and this grabber area highlight didn't exist yet. And there was a bug report somebody else had noticed, right? Hey, Wiggly Gull. Somebody else had noticed, you can't fully style these things without another highlight style. So they added it, but one of the side effects of adding it is that if you had an old version of this style, it didn't get the new one, and you had some extra ones that didn't actually do anything. So I had to just remove it and then add it back, and then everything worked perfectly fine. And I didn't notice it because I didn't read the release notes. I just upgraded. Because that's how I be. I just jump right in. So that's great. It worked, and I think it looks great. But I think this highlights, among other things, it highlights the need to like version lock at some point and say I'm not going to ever upgrade this Godot engine ever again. like this game, I'm thinking I'm going to put a version of Godot in the folder with the game so that I just know if I'm ever going to edit this game, I need to use that version of Godot. Because I just don't want to deal with improvements like that. I mean, it is an improvement, but it's just something that, I didn't need in my life right at that moment. What else? So that was awesome. Fix this, fix this. Oh, I added a VSync to the options, which is nice. You know, you can turn it off or on while you're playing the game. And I didn't test it to see if it works. Let's see if it works. It should work. I mean, the button works, but I don't know if it actually unlocks it. So this is 60 frames per second, right? I don't know if you guys can see that on the stream, but right there it says 60 frames per second. And if I pause it, go into the options, turn off VSync, continue. Oh, there, it works. Look at that. Unlocked, 700 frames per second. So that's nice. That's actually really cool because now it's a lot easier to do that than to go through the project settings, rerun the game, you know. I don't know. I guess some people would run it without VSync. I don't know. I guess you can have VSync on in your OS or at the graphics card level. Maybe you don't want it here, or maybe you've got a cool, expensive monitor like a G-Sync or FreeSync or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, you can turn it off and on now. Yeah, it works. Perfecto. What else did I do? Oh, I added people and coins to the score display. So one thing I was looking at last time was I was trying to come up with some way to like, I was looking at maybe adding a objective at, display on the screen. You know, your objective A is this, B is this, C is this, right? I didn't like it. I didn't like the way the art was going. I didn't like the way the, hey, Andrew. I still got the hat. There you go. It's just, welcome, pilots. It's just, it doesn't fit over my, my headphones. And I like these headphones. When I wear the hat, I was wearing my earbuds, and those things suck. Maybe I'll wear the hat again on Thursday. So let's go into one of these levels and I'll show you. So I couldn't find a style for the display that I liked, so I added these up here instead. Right, so now you don't need an objective. You kind of just see it explicitly. There's one person to rescue, and there's 24 coins to get. And it's very clear, right? And you don't need words written down. This translates to multiple languages, right? You know, you've got 0 of one of these guys. And then I made a really simple, really simple animation for when you collect them. You can see how it's just kind of blinking and flashing up there. Anyway, so you can see how you're doing on your objectives without explicitly calling it out as a, primary objective, secondary objective, right? Where's your hat? You know what, dude? If this game makes $1 million, if I sell 100,000 copies, hats for everybody. Hats will be on me. Shoot, if it makes 50,000, I might send hats to everybody. I'm not picky. I have low expectations. All right, so I've got a bunch of stuff on here. As you can see, some of these other not started ones are they look more complicated, so I'm putting them off till a little later. I do like working on stream like this, and mainly because it keeps me to a schedule, having you guys around. Oh, thanks for the follow, Wiggly. Having you guys on stream, and sticking to a schedule is very kind of motivating, and it keeps me making progress constantly. On the other hand, it is hard for me to code and talk at the same time. So I when I'm doing some of this other stuff, there's going to be a lot of this. And that doesn't make for very compelling television. some of the simpler stuff is maybe more interesting to watch, I guess. But, you know, I'm not picky. Whatever you guys want me to work on, I'll work on. But I was thinking I'm going to work on a little bit of this first. Maybe I'll move this one up. Let's do this first, then this, and then we'll see how far we get. So allow missile launchers to hide and reveal. There's a feature in the editor. Let me bring up a level here so I can show you. Bring up my test level. Delete you, and you, and you, and you. And let's put a enemy here. One of the features you can do is make them hidden. So when you start the level, you don't see it. It's just not there. There's nothing there. But then you can hook up an event like, I mean, you'd never do this, but I'll just add a button and connect the button to him and say activate. So when I push the button, he'll appear, and watch, you'll see a bunch of steam and smoke and stuff, right? So it's like for booby traps and stuff, right? You can have different events trigger these guys. So the missile launcher enemy has that, but I don't have an animation for it. So I don't think I have the code for it either. So what I'm going to do is go into the old Aseprite and find my enemies and find my textures and find my missile launcher. Right? Here's all the different animations. I've got an idle. I've got an open. I've got a close. Zoom this up a little bit. And I've got a death. But I don't have an appear animation. And what I'm going to do is copy... where's my turret? So my turret has one. It has an appear animation right here. So what I'm going to do is copy that smoke. How many frames is this? 17 to 29, 28. That's 12 frames, right? Yeah, 12 frames. So I'm going to take this guy, go right to the end, move this back to 32. I'm going to tag this with appear. Yeah, and I'm going to copy this whole thing here. Let's go ahead and add 12 frames here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I can just, let's add a new layer. We'll call it smoke. And we'll just paste those guys right there. So now my appear smoke, right? And then the other thing that these guys have is the thing popping up, right, out of the ground. Remember, make mouth sound effects when playing animations. Yes, yes, you're correct. So the smoke appears, and then the enemy pops up, does a little dance, and plants itself. So that part I can't copy from here. I need to do it from here. So which one of these am I going to use? I think it's normally closed. So I'm going to have it come up. Maybe I'll have it do that. I'll have it come up like this. So I want to copy all of this, but what I'm going to do is merge it down. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to put it all, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to paste it all right here. Oops. Those layers. Copy. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to paste it right here. And then I'm going to take these layers. So, oops. Right? I'm going to take these 4 layers and just merge them down. Just flatten them. Merge down, merge down, merge down, merge down. Oh, actually, I want to keep this one. We'll call this body, right? So the reason I merge them down, it just makes it easier to move. I can animate the whole thing as one unit now. So I want to start, let's move them all over one. And I want it to start down here. And then it's going to pop up fairly quickly. And then slow down towards the top of its rise up. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, see, it's too linear, right? It just looks very static and steady. And I think what I actually wanted to do is come up. I want it to come up further than that. I want it to really come up fast. And then I want it to overshoot even. So this will be something like that. Let me turn on the onion skin real quick. So the way the onion skin works is when you turn it on, see, you don't see the indicators here, but look at these frames, and you'll see a little indicator here when I click this. So you see those little arrows in the corners? You can even drag them. And what that's showing you is here's the current frame that I'm on, and then this is showing the previous frame as red and the future frame as blue. I think that's what it's doing. Let me make sure I've got those colors right. Yeah, the future frame is blue, and the past frames are red. Right? So you can see it appears, and then it settles itself. So I want it to overshoot. Comes up, bap, bap, overshoots. That actually looks okay. See how it's got kind of that bounce at the end now? And it's important that this frame is the same as like this frame, right? The body is in the same position. Otherwise, when the animation transitions, you'll notice a jump or a skip or something. All right, that works. So, Davy Sleaze 26. How'd you get the name? So let me save this, and then I'm going to export the sprite sheet. And this is kind of, it's not super important, but I added these new frames at the end. That way, all the other animations I have that are already built won't be affected. If I'd put this here in the middle, then I would have to redo my death animation because the frames have all changed. But since I put it at the end, I don't need to worry about any of the animations I've done with these guys. I just add one more. Can you onion skin 2 different frames and make sure they line up? I don't think you can pick arbitrary frames, but what I did here was I made sure that I copied all of these, right? And I know that the base here, let me move this down. It's a good place to call it base. And then I can get rid of this frame. I know that these frames here at the end of this are lined up already, right? They're lined up with every other animation. So as long as I copied them here, right, and I'm using them, then I can use that as my reference point. Turn that off now. So I can save it, export the sprite sheet. Shows you, this is a cool new feature. Asprite used to not give you this preview, but now they give you this cool preview of what the sprite sheet's going to look like, and you can see my appear animation here at the end, right? Just these extra frames here at the end. And I'm just going to export it. It should already remember the name from last time I did it. Yeah. And there we go. It did add an extra 2 rows to the sprite sheet. So when I open up my launcher enemy, see it's out of position, right? Because the sprite has 2 more vertical frames. It's got 6 rows instead of 4. So if I go to 6, it all lines up again. The horizontal frames didn't change. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's because in the layout here, I told it use 8 columns. So it just made more rows. So now I just have a bunch of animation frames at the end. And what I can do is just create a new appear animation. And I'll make it last 1 second. Just because I know, you know, again, your timings in your game are going to be different than mine, but I've tended to shoot for about 12 frames per second for the more complex animations. So let me zoom this in here a little bit. So this is my technique here. And again, I go back and forth between using Animation Player and Animated Sprite. I think Animated Sprite is great. Animation Player is more versatile. You can do more things with Animation Player. It can play sounds. It can do a bunch of different things. And I use it for more than just strictly what you might call animating. I'll use it for timing things. It's, you know, it's not a bad timer because you can set the length of it and just play it and tell when it's finished. But it can also do things like make function calls and play audio tracks, and you can really have fine-grained control around the timing of when the different frames play. Animated Sprite is great if you have a really simple case where you just want to play 10 frames in a row and you don't care about anything else. And I'm slowly starting to use Animated Sprite in more things. The reason I didn't start with it was because Animated Sprite didn't have the ability to use sprite sheets when I started this project. So they added it at some point and I started using it. But by then I'd already been using Animation Player for just about everything. You guys hear that? There's no dog barking. All right, so this is pretty simple, though, what I'm going to show right here. So what you can do is go to the starting frame and say, you have your animation player, you've got your animation thing, and you see all these keys here. You can add a keyframe for anything, right? So I go to my base, and I say, what frame is that? 33. So this is 1, index starting at 1, but in Godot it starts at 0. So this is frame 33, but it's really frame, Godot will think it's frame 32. So I'll just change this to frame 32. Here's my smoke. And I'll just keyframe it right there. And then I go to about 95 or so, 0.9, and I'll go to the end. which would be frame 43. And keyframe that. And when you play it, you'll see it doesn't do anything. And that's because it's doing, by default, it does this discrete mode, which means it only changes the value at each, when you have a new keyframe. But what you can do is do continuous, and then it will interpolate between the two. And there you go. So if you wanted to, though, you could add, like if you wanted to change the timing slightly, you could add another frame here, like at frame 39, right? But then you could move it. And so this part will happen really fast, and this part will happen really slow. Or you could move it over here. And this part will happen slow, and this part will happen really fast. I tend to like doing the timing in Aseprite. If I wanted to change the timing, I would just go into Aseprite and remove some frames or move frames around. So this straight ahead linear curve is fine. And that's another thing. You can change the curve, right? You can do the easing. Right now it's linear, but I can easily say go faster at the beginning and slower towards the end, or slower towards the beginning and faster towards the end, or you can do a in and out if you wanted to, right? Lots of different things you could do that affects the timing of this this curve. So that's my appear. And then I think the rest is all code. Let's see. Can reveal, right? I think I've already got all the code in here. Yeah, it's even calling the right animation. It just didn't exist before. Play appear. And play, activate hidden. And I should actually queue up. Idle, right? So it'll appear, and then as soon as the appear animation is done, it'll start idling. I probably need a sound effect here. Ba, 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 ba. I wonder what sound effect I'm using for everything else. So turret has a appear sound effect. Play. Okay. And my, who else? My oops, not editor, enemies. My blister guys, they have an appear sound effect. Same one. So I'll just use that sound effect too for this guy. When do they play it? Oh, it's right there. Okay, appear sound effects. So do I already have that in here too? I do. Okay. And conveniently, that's like a 1 second long sound effect. So if I go back into my editor here. Hey, Nick. Hey, guys. Nick, do you have a link to VimJam? Nick is famous, in case you guys didn't know. And he's a Twitch superstar, up-and-coming Twitch superstar. And he's famous enough to have his own game jam, the VimJam. Can you share a link to the VimJam, Nick, so that we can all join it? Sweet. Hey, Andrew, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to play a little one of your tracks here in a minute. Andrew's been making music. This music you hear right now, Droopy made it. Let's go into the editor. Go here, do this. So now, let's see, we'll delete him. Add the missile launcher guy. And say he's hidden. And then connect this to the missile launcher guy. And let's see what happens. Hopefully it works. And let's listen for it. Yeah. I didn't see the smoke. And it seems there's something wrong with the collision as well. I'm not hitting it. That's cool. Yeah, that was weird. The smoke was weird. Not sure what's going on there. So there was definitely something wrong with the collision. Oh, you know what it probably is? I bet you in here. Let me look at this up here. Yeah, it does. It calls enable collision as well. Yeah, let's do that too. So I copied a bunch of code from another thing and never finished it. And that's why it's acting weird. Animation player appear. So we'll add a function call track, and we're going to call a function on this guy, and we're going to put it right here, and we will call it we'll call that, right? That should fix the collision issue. Probably have to restart it. No, it's just not working. All right, what am I doing wrong? There's always something I'm doing wrong. I don't know what these are. I only started noticing these recently. I don't even know what that is. Xcreate IC and Xopen IM. I have no idea. I mean, they're just warnings. I guess I can ignore them. Enable collision. Disabled true, disabled false. And the animation. It's right there. Enable collision. Right? Should be doing it. Let's see if it has a can reveal, blah blah blah, alive, and then that's where's its hurt. Game is edit mode if alive. That could be it. Probably just set alive to true. Nope, there it is. Alive is true. It's weird. Yeah, let's just step through this and see what it's doing here. Restart. So when I hit this, it should break into the editor, right? So I get I can't reveal itself anymore because it's already doing it. It's going to show itself. It's setting its alive variable to true. Starts playing the appear animation, queues up the idle, and plays our sound effect. And then when I shoot it, yeah, it gets called. So the collision happened. I'm not in edit mode. That's true. So it took the hit. My health is 14. Let's hit it again. Now the health is 13. I mean, maybe it's working now for some reason, and I just missed it before. Ow. Yeah, it's working perfectly. You guys saw it not working, right? Am I losing my mind? There, it's not working. Let's see if the... Let's look at the remote tree here. So we can look at when you pause the game or whatever, at any time really, the game doesn't have to be paused. You can go into the editor, look at the remote tree, and this is the tree of the running game. And then I can go into my level, and I can find the launcher, and I can inspect it. And so I see it's alive. It is not being hit. Can't be revealed. That's fine. It is alive. Don't know why. Don't know why. Is this disabled? Yeah, the collision is still disabled. Interesting. The collision is still disabled. I wonder... I might have something else going on here in one of my animations. Let's look at the idle. No. No. It's fine. Oh, let's just move it a little bit. I don't think that would make any difference. I really want it to be there at the end. Let's just call this. Let's break there and see what happens. Restart. Yeah, exactly. Change nothing, save. Now it works! Okay, so there it is, right? Look at my remote tree here. There's my launcher. Here's my collision. Disabled is on. And then... it's still on. But what'll happen is on the next frame it should switch. Because I'm calling it deferred. So let me put a... Let me put something right here. Another break right there. So I'll get a break on the next frame. Right? Now it's not disabled. It's active. Oh, look at that. The game is frozen, but the particle system is still doing something. It's like part of the game doesn't know it's stopped. So this should all be good. Should all be working. Yeah, and it is working. Yeah, That's weird. It's like there's a timing issue. It only works if I break. Really weird. Just start it from scratch and see what happens. Alright, that is really bizarre. Because I know it's calling that. There must be something else changing it back. I don't think so. So hidden is my global variable here. It's what's actually, it's what you change in the editor. So you can say, make this guy start out hidden, true or false. But then, oh, and there's no setter or getter. So when you go into the game, where is it? Prepare for gameplay. This gets called when you start the actual level. That's when it changes it to disabled true. It changes alive to false, it hides it, and turns off the collision. Then, when you push the button, the game calls this, sets this value to true, can reveal, and reveal is called here in the physics process, right? So it's just called every frame, every physics frame. Try to reveal yourself, but it's not going to reveal until can reveal is true. And that all works. We saw all that work. Right? It says can reveal to true, and then it calls here if can reveal, right? And that in that case it changes this back to false. It shows the sprite. It makes itself alive. It plays this animation and cues this one, and it plays the sound effect. This animation does this and calls that. Let's just move this, see what happens. Yeah, that's a good idea, Leonard. I'll do a print real quick. Let's do a print. Have a good dinner, Nick. All right. This time it's going to work. Yeah, unless it didn't. Let's see. What do we got in the console here? It didn't call it. Why not? That's weird. You're onto something, Leonard. That time it did. It's something to do with this cue. I wonder if that's a bug. Transition time? I don't know what that is. Zero blend times. That's interesting. I didn't know this was here either. I could have it play idle automatically after appear. Let's do that and see what that does. Something weird going on. Alright, so that actually worked. Let me move this back. Do that once more. Seems like a bug, right? That's okay though, I've got a workaround. It's not working. Didn't work that time. Now, and that time it did work. And that time it didn't work. That time it didn't work. That time it didn't work. It only works sometimes. What is this? Method call mode deferred. That's interesting. Interesting. So if I look here, I've got enable collision right there, right? Right at the end. It's fine. Right, it's on. It's right there. It's fine. That's all fine. Right, I'm doing it the same way as I'm doing in my other scripts. Alright, that's driving me nuts. Time to take a break. Let me play something for you guys. Check this out. I shrank this down so that it doesn't kill the stream. So this is a song. Let me play this one, actually. This is the newest one that Andrew just sent to me. Turn this volume up so you guys can hear it. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll play a couple seconds of it here. New track, Gravity Ace, world premiere. Here we go. All right. And then here's another one. I'll play a couple seconds of this one too. Thank you, Droopy. Let's do that. Let's change it to immediate. See what happens. Nope. That's not it. Let's move it here. And right, it didn't print anything. And let's go back to doing this. And go back in here. Change this. All right, let's see what happens. This is really annoying. Didn't work. And that time it did work. That time it worked. That time it worked. That time it worked. We're on a roll. Just working every time right now. I mean, fortunately, I don't really use this feature in the game. It's stuff like this I always think of when people ask me, when's the game coming out? Now it's just working. I'm tempted to just say, you know what, guys, it's working. I'm not sure what I did, but it seems to be working. Oh! Right up until it didn't work. You guys are seeing this, right? It's not my imagination, right? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Son of a gun. Yeah, the node's already in the tree. You know what? We can do this. We can do this. Watch. Let's do this. Appear animation start, right? Start appear animation. So we should see this, and then it's going to play this, which should call this every single time at half a second later. Bap. Okay, it didn't activate it, right? Collision's not working. So I see start at the appear animation. But for some reason it never did this. Even though it's right there in the animation. Maybe, let's just re-add it. Maybe something weird happened. If this doesn't work, I'm going to move on to something else. It's probably something dumb. Right, so I've got output here, I've got start the appear animation. Oh, wait a minute, what is this? Loading unnamed? Oh, that's because I went into the editor. That's fine. Just do it again. Bap. That was a weird long delay. Right. That time it worked. So this one I have start and enabling. Start, 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 and enabling. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. That's the issue that I'm seeing right now. Maybe it's got something to do with the button. Maybe it's got something to do with the button. The button emits this signal. Zero to hero. Thanks, buddy. Makes me want to blow some stuff up. Oh. Get so many different signals going on. I don't know. Maybe this is something like I just need to reboot my computer and it'll start acting normal again. Anyway, as promised, let's move on. This isn't quite working, so I'm not going to commit it. But what I'll do is I'll stash it. And then I'll come back to it later. Oops, wrong one. Here, blah, blah, blah. stash all this stuff? Yes. Stash. Kinda working. Missile launcher. Hidden thingy. All right. I'll just come back to that later. So we will close you, and close you, and close you, and close you, and close you. And where's my to-do list? Mission start music. So I'm thinking there's something like something real simple, like right here. So you hear the title track, and then you go to start the mission, and it just keeps playing the title track. And I think I want something in here. But something super simple, something I think I can handle. So let me pop this open. So Andrew's been doing all my music, and I appreciate it. He's been doing a great job. But he's working on music for, in the game while you're playing it, Some really cool stuff. And this one is just such a basic thing. I don't want to waste any of his time making this. Plus, I like doing this stuff. So I was playing around with this earlier today, and I'm not going to use this at all, but this is kind of where my noodling around came up with. It's kind of fun. I kind of like that, but that's not what I'm going to use for this. It has completely the wrong feel. It's just not what I want to use for this. I want something like, something with a little bit of tension and stress to it. This is more like, I don't know, church or something. So let's create a new edit here. This will be mission start. And then let's just lay down something real simple. MIDI clip, and we'll just put down, just throw an instrument on here real quick. Actually, subtractive is fine. All right. And go way down here. Good old C. Maybe an A. Give me an A. And yeah, we'll just draw some notes. Get my piano editor here. Yeah. So we're doing 120 beats a minute. Let's just do something like that. How do I change the note length? I don't do this enough to remember how to do everything. Do one beat. No, that's too long. Go half a beat again. No. It's the wrong instrument, obviously. Let's do quarter beat. All right, 1 bar of droning dun 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 dun. That's fine. And we'll change the instrument. So let's loop this so we can hear it playing. And then we can find a different instrument. Subtractive is pretty good. It also comes with collective, which is very good. I mean, with this thing, you can make it's a nice synth. You know, it's got 4 LFOs, a bunch of effects you can put on it. It'll automatically do these filters. You can do an arpeggiator. And it comes with just a ton of instruments. Ugh. It's not bad. That's kind of a bass line. All right, let's see. Let's go off 4 bars. And drag this guy out here 4 bars. And get my piano editor out here again. And let's copy those. And do them right here. I want to go up to C right here. Different. That one's too. This instrument's too soft. This doesn't remind me of Africa at all, but that's fine. They can call it Africa horns. All right. So now let's look at this track. We'll add a another MIDI clip right there. Close U. And this one, I'm going to use a feature in waveform called a chord track. And you can have, you can do a pattern generator. So you can have it do like an arpeggio, and you can kind of pick the pattern of your arpeggio. Like this one will go dun 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 dun. This one will go dun 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 dun, like that, right? This one will be dun 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 dun. And I want to do something like 6 notes in the 5th octave, and we'll do something like this, and we'll have it follow our chord track, but I don't have any chords yet, right? So I need to add new chord. Yeah, we'll make our chord track. Oops, where'd that go? Make our chord track this long. And right now it's just all C minor, or C major, C major, C major, C major, right? Oh, we need an instrument here. Throw one on. Why isn't that bass track playing? Let me restart this thing. It's acting weird. Hey, Peter. Yes, I'm attempting. This is my attempt, my feeble attempt at making a very, very short, repetitive mission start drone. Yeah, so that's far too long. I want it to be 1 bar. Pattern generator should auto update. I want it to be 6 notes. Why is that thing? Oh, I see. I want it to follow this chord track. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to delete this and just do it again, because it's doing something weird here that I don't understand. New MIDI clip. 1 bar. Arpeggio. 5, 6. Auto update. Bop. And follow the chord track. It's weird. Andrew, I'll just tell everybody, I love that you're making music for me. And this is just a droney kind of thing that I want after you select, after you move off the title screen, but before you start playing. And I didn't want to waste your time on it. Plus, I like creating music too. And this is music, quote unquote music. There's no melody. We'll see how it goes. I may ask you to come fix this for me. We'll see. Right now I'm having trouble even just getting this thing. Oh, there we go. So this should actually be yeah, it's following the chord track, right? So this should actually be A. And this one should also be an A. And this one should be a C. And this one should be a C. Something like that. So that's the wrong instrument again. Let's see what I got here. I want to lead, maybe keys. Alright, let's just do this as a concept. We'll call this rough draft just to see how we like it. So I'm going to put this in the game. When I do this, what I'm going to do is tell it to export. Can I tell it to export an OGG file? I can. So I'm just going to render this OGG file out. Bop, 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 bop. That's all fine. And then I can go in here and find it. Here it is. And I'm going to cut that and put it in here. Common, music, mission start, right? Oh, you know, I just got all the standard ones that came with it. Let's see, I've got, let's drop this guy. I've got, all these came with waveform, right? All the normal stuff, reverb, delay, chorus, you know, stuff. Some cool one of these. There's this collection. You get these with waveform as well. You get, you know, you can make your own presets and plugin racks, right? That comes with it. You can make your own. Oops. What else? WaveRaiser. This is a trial of WaveRaiser that Traction makes. These are a bunch of ones that I just downloaded from someplace else. I'm running this on Linux, so this actually just was built into the, or not built in, but you can download these through the package manager. Helm is an open source instrument that I don't really use very much, but it's pretty nice. And then this one is Collective. Collective comes from the Traction people. You get this with Waveform 10. It's a very nice one. And these are free from the Traction people. These are all free. And I downloaded these from, I don't know, somewhere, but I never use them. I mostly just use Subtractive and Collective, which are awesome. I mean, they just come with just a ton of instruments. And, you know, for any one of the instruments, you get just a crap ton of sounds. Collective is neat because it's based off of actual samples, and then you can have multiple samples per key hit. And I mean, some of them, they sound great. So I'm pretty happy with Collective and Subtractive, really. I'm not super complicated. I'm a simple guy. All right, so I have that in here. And I can load up my start menu. And I can have it say, oh, that's the start. Yeah, I want to play. I actually want it to play when the menu starts to show. Right here, I'll have permission start. I think that'll work. So that's completely the wrong tone. I don't want that. I don't like that arpeggio at all. Maybe I'll get rid of that arpeggio thing. But then this should be back to the title scene. Right, and then the menu, and then back. Yeah, I think I like that. I want something like that, but I hate this. What is going on with my audio device? I just can't catch a break today. For some reason, this thing isn't playing music now. All right, I'm going to work on that later too. I don't know how long it's been since I've rebooted this thing, but it's obviously time to reboot my computer. Yeah, I mean, maybe. You say send me a bunch of spacey stuff, but like, that sounds like it means like gigabytes and gigabytes of sound files I might have to download. And that sounds like a lot. I actually have a Noise subscription. I don't know if you guys know if you've heard of them. I got this Noise subscription a while back. They had they had a special deal where you could name your own price for an annual membership. Pretty cool. So I ended up with, I think this plan. Maybe it's this plan, but I'm not paying $10 a month. But it's a pretty neat thing. They've got these huge sample packs, right? And like each one of these sample packs, it's just got hundreds and hundreds of sounds in it. Some of them are loops, some of them are one-shots, you know. And they tell you the beats per minute, the key it's in. You know, it's all pretty nice. So you've got a loop. Is there a drum kit on here? Loop. Banjo loop. That's what the game needs. Oh yeah. I'm putting that in the game. Maybe some mallets. The game needs some spaced out mallets, don't you think? Weird. It's like an electric guitar played backwards. Anyway, I could spend forever just playing with these things, and they have so many. I honestly don't know how they stay in business for $10 a month, because it's got to be just a huge amount of work to create even just one of these kits. Drum loop, check it out. Little tambourine. Oh yeah. Anyway, it's fun. So I think the concept, I proved I like the concept, right? I just need to come up with something better for this mission start sound. Right? And that's fine. So one thing I want to do though is to get this really working right is right now you hit the menu and it just instantly switches to the other track, but I want it to fade. So what I want it to do is I want to say, instead of play music, I want it to be, let's do crossfade music. Let's create an API here for this. All right. So this is in my game class. Let me open that up and you'll see this is going to be a little bit of indirection here. Yeah. Play music, play random music. Play sound effect. Where is play music? Line 638. Here it is. All right. So I want to do crossfade music. And that's really just going to call into the music fader to do crossfade. So in my game singleton, this scene, this game singleton gets loaded at the beginning of the game, and it just stays loaded the whole game. And I call it game, the capital G, so I can call all these functions on it. All right, Andrew, take it easy, buddy. And then inside of it, I have this other scene called Music Fader, and that has its own API. And so rather than calling this directly, I'm calling game, and game is just managing this thing for me. So I'm going to have a function here in game called crossfade music, and it's going to call the music fader crossfade function with the music that I want it to play. And then in the music fader, I obviously need to make a crossfade thingy. And so I'm going to call it crossfade, obviously. And what's it going to do? It's going to do the same thing that play does. Actually, it's going to do almost exactly the same thing as play does, but it's going to go faster. Maybe instead of crossfade, what I'll do is just add a speed on here. Like that. So in game, I'll call crossfade music, but this will just call play with a speed of 3, right? So here, if I just play music normally, it stops all the music, plays the new one. So it's instantly, there's a transition where it just stops the old one, starts the new one instantly. This one won't stop the old one. It'll start playing the new one and crossfade them, but at 3 times the normal speed. So what this does is there's actually, in this music fader scene, there's actually 2 music players, and it keeps track of which one it's playing right now. And then when you play a new song, it figures out which one it's using, okay, adds the music to the other one, right, and starts playing that second one, and then it plays an animation on the animation player called 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, depending on which way it's going. 2 to 1 or 1 to 2, right? Where it just crossfades the volume. So the animation player is doing the crossfade. See the volume on 1's going down and 2's going up, or it'll go 1 going up, 2 going down, right? So what I'll do is just pass in speed to the animation player. So the animation player, what is this called? Playback speed equals speed. So now, this already does the crossfade, but now I can do a fast crossfade or the normal length 2-second crossfade. If I pass in a 3, it'll do it in a third of the time. So instead of a 2-second crossfade, it'll be a 2/3 of a second crossfade. Yeah. So here, crossfade, crossfade. So now we should hear it crossfade if I did it right. Right? Can you hear it? It's a smoother transition now, right? Let me change the speed on that crossfade to 2. Actually, let me just change it down to 1 so we can just hear it happening, right? Actually, now that I'm doing it, the 1-second crossfade is fine. I didn't need a new method at all. That's actually fine. I'm just going to make it 2 though. So this will crossfade it twice as fast. Let's call it fast crossfade. Let's change this API name. And in my game here, I'll do fast crossfade. Yeah, because normally it'll be a slow crossfade, like when you're playing the level, and if it switches tracks on you, it'll be that 2-second crossfade. But here I want to do a fast crossfade because I'm going from the title screen to the menu, right? Yeah. That's fine. I just need to come up with better music here. This mission start that I created isn't very good. I might need Droopy back. I'll work on it. It's like I said before, it's hard to do some of this stuff with an audience, and what I need to do is just noodle with it for a while. And it's like everything, you know. It's like drawing, it's like coding, it's like making music. When you first start out, there's like a trough of crap at the beginning, right, of your project. You're like starting out, and you have an expectation you're going to get up here. But first, to get to here, you have to go through this trough of just garbage. And then after struggling through that for a little bit, you start to find something you like, right? And this trough, for me, takes an hour. It just takes an hour of me just doing the thing over and over again. Oh my God, the dog's back. And I think a lot of people, especially beginners, they don't realize that there's this trough that you have to go through to get to the good stuff. And so after 20 minutes in, they quit, right? They're like, I'll never be good at this. I quit. I give up. You just got to realize that the trough is there. And you just have to swim through it. It's just a bunch of sewage you have to walk through to get to the good stuff. And it just takes a little bit of time. And just don't give up too early. That's all. Don't give up too early, and it'll get better. That's how it works for me. Maybe some people can just be like, masterpiece instantly. But in my experience, most people are not that way. Anyway, nobody wants to see me working through my trough of garbage. So I'm just going to work on that later. But you get the idea, right? Anyway, I've got this fast crossfade now. I've got the music switching to that mission start drone and then back to the title music when you cancel out. So that all works great. I just need better music there. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. That's a good result. Maybe this thing running in the background is what's throwing everything off. I don't know. Where's my to-do list? All right. I just don't have time for this one. Well, we've been at this an hour and a half now. I think this is a good stopping point for today. So one thing I did today on the stream was I put in a schedule. I don't know if anybody noticed it. It's fine if you didn't. But my plan is to stream Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So Monday, Thursday is going to be at about 6 p.m. Saturday is going to be at 12 p.m. This is all Pacific time. So Saturdays, the European folks, East Coasters, whatever, can hang out with us. Monday and Thursday, it's going to be more West Coast or more night owls, late night folks. And we'll see. We'll see how long I can stick to that schedule. But like I said before, it's great to have this schedule because it really keeps me productive. So I appreciate everybody helping me out. That's it. If you're new to the stream, thanks for following. Go to gravityace.com. Come join the Discord. Wishlist the game on Steam. Tell everybody about the game, please. Would really appreciate it. And come follow me on Twitter and check out my shenanigans over there. I mostly post about the game, fun GIFs and stuff. But I love retweeting things from other people. So if you've got something you want me to see and retweet, please let me know, and I will do that. And until next time, guys. Until next time, folks. Have a good one. See you guys on Thursday.